Welcome back everyone to another Stu42 Minecraft video. Today I'm showing you the UU matter setup, which has changed a little bit from last time. They used to have the UU, like the actual item that you put in the crafting grid. You could make just about anything you needed to make. Iridium mostly I think most people used for. This time they've changed it to a liquid. They've upped the production costs and the time. I think it's a lot tougher. I'm not sure it's worth it for anything other than iridium. I've tried a few things in here. Most of them don't seem to stack up all that well. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So to start with, we need to generate our UU liquid. That's done with our friend the Mass Fabricator. As you can see, it's sort of similar to that it used to be. We've still got an amplifier. I'm feeding scrap boxes into mine, and that. Yeah, not super quick. It's taken a while there, and it just outputs a liquid instead, which I'm piping straight out into the iron tank here. Now, as I said last time, 512 EU per tick, quite a big cost to be sinking into that unless you've got nuclear running. So I showed you last time this thing turns off when the reactor's not running. This power feed also goes out here and feeds this MFSU for the next step in the chain as well. So once we've generated our UU matter, first of all I'll just show you this. Pretty simple. Craft scrap boxes. I have a recycler over in the other part of my base. When I quarry, I keep a certain amount of cobble and dirt and bits and pieces, and then the excess of things I throw into the recycler to make some scrap. So once we've got our UU liquid, we can pipe it out to a replicator. Pattern storage and scanner all go together as a three-part set. So when you want to duplicate an item, you need to have one of the items to begin with. So first of all, we have the scanner. Now I'm going to attempt to scan a name tag, just because things like name tags and saddles and other bits and pieces that you only find in dungeons, you can't just go mining to find or anything like that. So I'm going to try and scan a name tag. Now this is taking, it's not too bad. It is using 512 EU per tick to do the scanning though, so again it's not cheap. And I just have an HV transformer cutting this 2048 down into 512 to power that. Now the next item is the pattern storage. Now I got a bit confused when I first did this. So once this finishes, you'll get a dialog here in this black area, and it'll either say error or it'll say scan complete, and you get a little save dialog. Now this slot down here you can use to put a crystal memory in. Now this is it here. So you put a crystal memory in there, and then you click the save button, and it goes onto the crystal memory. The dialog isn't super clear with what happens when you have a pattern storage next door, so you don't actually need the crystal memory. You can just leave it as is, click save, and it'll go into the pattern storage. I've only got 5 things in here, as you can see. The first one, iridium, and again because of that confusion, my first 2 are iridium because I think I clicked save twice because I wasn't sure if it had worked or not. As you can also see, 22 buckets of UU matter and 1,000,000 EU to make. It is not fast, it is not cheap. The UU matter alone, 22 of those, as I showed you before, this thing, 41, yeah, it's not fast. So you got to do that 22 times just to make a single iridium. And while, you can't really go mining for iridium that easily, this is probably still faster if you want to make that quantum suit. Every so often I come over here and make another piece of iridium ore, but the power suit seems to suit me fine. I'm not even sure it's worth going to the quantum armor. The other thing worth noting in the pattern storage, if you break this block, all of the patterns are kept, which is really good. So you can break this block, pick it up, move it anywhere. You will need to use a wrench to break it, without losing it, and it'll keep all of the patterns. So don't be afraid. Once it's got patterns in it, you can move this thing. So after that we have lapis. Again, with my nuclear video, I was looking at using lapis to cool it, but again 2.5 buckets of UU matter just for a single piece of lapis, it just doesn't stack up. It's nowhere near fast enough. My reactor design was chewing through lapis, effectively one lapis every like 8 to 10 seconds or something. It was ridiculous. So as soon as you want that higher end reactor, this is not viable for Lapis, which is why I'm doing bees now, which I'll show you in a later video. Next one is the uranium ore. This might be worth it if you can't go, I mean, maybe mining is probably faster. Still nearly 7 buckets worth of UU matter. Slow, expensive to make, but you will get quite a bit of fuel out of it. So the net gain probably stacks up. The fuel you get from this is probably enough to generate all of this. Probably. I haven't quite done the math on that. And then diamonds, just because I thought I'd try diamonds in here. Just over 10 buckets of UU. Again, probably not worth it. It's probably better to just go mining. It'll be a lot faster too. I did try an emerald in the scanner, and emeralds cannot be scanned. There are certain items that can't be scanned, and it seems to be mostly crafted items. I tried scanning fuel rods. I tried scanning the refined uranium fuel, and only the uranium ore could be scanned. So it's just one thing to note: not every scan is successful. Once that is in the pattern storage, the replicator next to it, you can just select through the pattern. So the 2 iridium that I've got in there, the lapis, the uranium ore, and the diamond. And you can either just have a single run of one or just leave it run continuously. This thing uses 2048 EU per tick though, so just be warned, if you set that to running, you really need a lot of power to run this thing. So, oh, there we go, error. Name tags cannot be scanned. Not one of the items you can scan. That's a pity. I might try a saddle next, but I'll do that later. So yeah, that's pretty much how UU works these days. It's a lot better. I think it's a lot more challenging. I am struggling a little bit to see the uses for it other than iridium. It's a pretty big setup cost just to make quantum armor, and when you're in a pack that has, the power armor as well, the quantum armor is not really something you want to go to. I know there used to be the Gravi suit or the Gravi chest plate, which I really liked. Some people don't like it. I did like it, and that took a lot of iridium. But it's other than iridium and the odd thing that you might want to do in here. I mean, maybe the uranium ore. I haven't done the math to figure out how much fuel you get out of this versus how much it costs to make it. If you've got to set up, once you're at this stage, you've probably got a quarry set up somewhere in a Mistcraft age or something, much like I do. And if you want more stuff, you just go mining. So the only thing I can see this being used for is for something that you can't get by mining, or you can't get by bees, because again, bees are pretty cheaty as well. To be honest, I've done bees on a number of server restarts now, and you can pretty much get around any resource shortage by using bees. So I'd say this, if they take this mod in a direction where you can scan some of the rarer items that you just can't get normally, then sure, I can see this maybe being worthwhile. Again, with those costs being quite high, it isn't really worthwhile in doing this. So I think that's about it for the new UU matter system. Pretty simple really. Make liquid, use liquid, scan item, store it, replicate it. It does mean you need to have one of the items first, which I like. I do like that you actually have to have proven that you've gotten one of the items first before you can make more of them. That's a nice little touch. I think this is a lot better way of doing it. Anyway, until next time, this is Stu42. See you then.